Sup guys, quick disclaimer right now, very limited. I haven't done this in a very long time, but I offer coaching with a fixed price until you reach your dream rank. If you are concerned about pricing, just DM me on Discord. It obviously depends. If you want to go from bronze to silver, it's like less money than like from bronze to challenger, right? Like very over exaggerated. That's what I'm doing right now for the first 10 people. Why I'm like doing my course right now. I got a bunch of fucking freelancers that need to be paid. Anyways, enjoy the video guys. I will see you next one. Join my Discord by the way. Why the fuck are you not joined yet? Sup guys, back with another banger, and today we're going to talk about not early game, not late game, mid game. I have done way too little content on mid game, and it's by far the most important stuff once you got a good early game going on. And most people understand early game and they don't understand mid game at all, right? Like look at the screen right now. I'm gonna like show you some kind of picture. What would you do in this situation? We're gonna talk about it because most people, even they might know it, but they are not sure, right? That's what we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna show you a different picture right now. What would you do in this situation? And this is the early game, mind you. Way easier, right? Maybe you're not sure about each pictures, but I think way more people are like kind of concerned with like the first one, because in the mid game, right, you can play for towers, you can play for this and that objectives. Very important, but guys, mid game is very easy to learn. It is very easy once you understand it, and right now I will show you something. Alright guys, so this is the theory. I'm gonna make this very short and concise. But if you understand this truthfully, this is all you need for the mid game, and this is really what it's all about in the mid game. Numbers are all, and numbers is everything in the mid game. And we will talk about it in each example that I'm about to show you. But you have to understand, pushing mid leads to a sideline advantage because of numbers. If you, like most of you guys hopefully know, in the mid game your bot lane is mid lane. I don't care if you're in bronze or in challenger, it's always like this. People are not that bad, right? So your bot lane is in the mid lane. That's usually when the mid game starts. And you want to create a push on the mid lane, so you as a jungler can move with your bot lane to a side lane. Depends if it's bot or top, but towers. Tier 1 and tier 2 towers are the priority on the side lane. The reason why you cannot push mid lane is because it's in the center of the map and everyone can move to mid. But if you create an advantage in mid lane and you move to a side lane, there is suddenly someone on mid and bot lane. Like the enemies have to move from the bottom side of the map, so mid and bot lane, to top, which is so far, and you can make plays in that time, right? Because you have the first push. It's the same with pushing side lanes. Pushing a side lane is just a way to draw enemies to the side lane. Most of the time it's like one or two, maybe it's very dependent, right? But someone has to answer that. And if someone answers that, you can use that push to invade, or most of the time just advance to the next lane, mid or top lane, and get towers there and waves, right? If no one answers your side lane push or your mid lane push, well, you might not be able to make your play, because they still don't move their numbers around, their members on the team, right? That's what numbers is. But then they lose a wave, right? So this is how you have to view the game. And now I will show you like a great example from a coaching session. Alright guys, so this is from one of my coaching sessions I've had yesterday, I think. And this is very important. So we are looking at Nidalee right here. We saw Kayn topside, I believe, and he was very low and he had to base. That's why Nidalee went for his Raptors and she had numbers advantage. So right now, after this, she bases because Kayn and the enemy bot lane come out of base. And right here, this is so important. Look at the map. I will just use paint or like epic pen so you can kind of see what's happening here. Kayn was, I think, over here. He's basing his bot lane, also coming out of base right here. Drake is 1 minute. Nidalee has the advantage in the game, and she was inherently stronger than the enemies, especially on the bot side of the map. So Nidalee right here in the mid game should recognize Drake is 1 minute. She should just go topside, then move into her bot side camps, which would equate to a perfect timing for Drake. This is roughly 1 minute, right? Roughly. Why should she do this instead of play for her topside camps and do this? Because this opens up a possibility for Kayn to just take his camps, take her camps, and take Drake. Very important, right? So Nidalee can go topside here and make a play, right? Maybe a quick gank on Aatrox, because there's no Drake up and Kayn is not in her jungle yet, right? But the point is this, you need to have a baseline play out of, or an idea out of base what you want to play for if nothing weird happens, right? So Nidalee does this great. She should just do her bot side camps here. I don't even know why she went mid lane here, because right now, very important jungle tracking. Kayn is bot side, his top side camps were not up yet, and he was basing for sure. He was like at 1 HP here, and I think we saw him. So Nidalee opts to go top side here. This is very bad. Well, if Kayn is top side here, you might think, don't I want to just run here and like defend this? You could. First point is though, even if that was the case, and we were wrong with our jungle tracking, Kayn is actually on top side. Well, he can just do like 3 camps while Kayn does this, then play for Drake, and Herald is so tanky. You have your entire bot lane here, you have your Morgana is bot, your mid laner, and you also have Priory there. You just do Drake as 4, and then you advance as a team into Herald, right? That's the point. But Nidalee, what does she do? She moves topside. Topside was anyways kind of losing, I think. Or not losing, actually. Actually, is winning. But the point is this. She should play for the Drake timer. And honestly, as we can see, Kayn is bot side. We actually knew that he's gonna go bot side. He was basing here and his bot side camps were up by that time, right? This is why actually Nidalee opted to base, because this was very dangerous, the Crux. Because the enemy bot lane came, Kayn came, so she based. So what happens now? She goes topside. Plays for who the fuck knows what, she goes for Herald. Why is this bad? Nidalee is ahead in this game and her team is actually also ahead. She basically tells the Kayn here, hey man, make a play on Morgana, make a play on my camps, make a play on Drake, while I do Herald. This is wrong. You do not want to trade on the map in the mid game if you don't have to. What should Nidalee do? Just play for this, match Kayn on bot side, she's inherently stronger. She should not trade if she's stronger, or the map, right? I think they were only losing on the top side. I could be wrong though, but she is stronger here. You can see the gold here, right? She should not give this for free. So let's see what happens here. Kayn is bot side with his set. They make a player Morgana, and Nidalee does Herald. Herald is tanky as fuck as well, and now she goes top side. We could say she has still time to go here. Honestly, this is bad by Kayn. He made a bad play Morgana. He should have just took her camps by now. But so Nidalee can actually recover this and now move instantly into Drake. But yeah, let's see what she does. And this is still inherently bad. Herald will not like run away from you if you don't do it here, because the enemy jungle is bot side. So now she stays top. Kayn gets now the free Drake because she opted for Herald, even though he was bot side. So that's bad. Excuse me, I'm like skipping a lot in this coaching session, so I have to like skip ahead. So Kayn gets a free Drake. Nidalee gets a Herald. Wrong. 1 for 1? No. You want Drake and then Herald. Match enemy jungle. If you're stronger, don't trade on the map. That's the first point. Second point right here, Kayn actually gets her jungle camps. So that's bad. That shouldn't even happen at all. Now she goes for a play on mid lane. This was, I believe, a good play. Regardless though, she lost Drake for no reason at all. 1 for 1, that's what it is. This was very bad. So this is the next part of the game. Nidalee died mid, Kayn died. She went out of base top lane into bot lane. And this is very important, guys. Numbers in the mid game. Okay? Kayn is top side. We have wards here. He just base just like Nidalee. He has to be top side. These camps are all down, right? So Kayn is bot side. If we don't know where he is, this is what we have to assume. So what's happening right here? We have set bot side or Aatrox, depends who comes bot. We have, so one is top, one is bot lane is mid, and Kayn is bot side. Right now there is 2 people bot for sure, because we know where the enemy jungle is and someone goes bot, right? So right here, Rakan opts to go mid lane and Kaiser. Kayn is bot side, Aatrox bot side. What are the numbers on the map? 1 top, 1 bot. Actually, you should not assume that Seth is top. He's an assassin. He can actually be here, right? So right now, there is no clear advantage bot side. It's at least even or maybe outnumbered because his bot lane goes mid. So I told him right here, instead of instantly moving bot because he didn't pan his camera, this is the review, right? He should have looked mid if the enemy bot lane actually stays for this tower. This happens actually quite a lot. They shouldn't do this, but this happens. Why? Rakan moves mid. Kaiser moves mid. They are very strong. I think they were ahead as well, his bot lane. So he should look mid if they stay and go for a fight. Why? Kayn is on his camps and he can go for a 3v2 on the mid lane here. That's the first thing. He shouldn't have done it, but he should have looked for it because they actually go back. If they stay, this is the advantage. Here, he actually goes for a bot side play. I told him this play is not bad at all. Not bad at all. But Kayn is bot side. And right now he isn't like in proximity to this. So this is fine. What he does here, he actually chunks this guy out completely. But this is a big no-no. What happens here is not bad. He should just acknowledge, okay, the map state. They are chilling mid. This Renekton is chilling top. There is nothing top side. He can be bot side. This is good. But he should just push out this wave and get this free tower. Okay, what does he do? Doesn't acknowledge numbers on the map, just runs in, and yeah. What is bad with this play? The bad thing about this play is basically, even if he gets away, I think he shouldn't have done it because Kayn is topside, so he has to die here, which he actually does. He got a chunk on Aatrox. This is basically a kill, right? If you chunk someone in the mid game and you don't kill them, it's basically a kill. Because how the fuck is this guy gonna defend this tower now? He can't, right? So instead of going for this greedy ass kill when everyone can be bot side, or at least a Kayn, right, in the support, he should have just been very nice. We get the free kill, and what happens now? Instead of drawing pressure bot side, because they came, right? And then he can move into mid lane and make a play here. Because, you know, the Zed, the Kayn, the Aatrox are bot side. Instead of doing that, he went for a 1-for-1, actually killing his Morgana here, I think, right? So this is very important. You have to count numbers on the map. And this is where, this game is, he actually won that game, but this is very bad, okay? So, just understanding numbers on the map. The play he made was good. There was nothing mid lane. The enemy bot lane respected. He went bot side. It was a good play. But now he fucked it up. Because he didn't acknowledge numbers and he just greeted for a 1-for-1. He comes out of base and Atakan is spawning on top side. So what should he do? He should go top side like he does, right? His bot lane is coming out of base. The enemies are dead. The Kayn is dead. Sivir is bot with Lux. So the only one is Aatrox, right? Aatrox actually goes top lane here. So he should obviously go to Atakan, right? Do his camps, then wait for his team and then do Atakan. So let's see what he does. Because this is a very good play by him. Acknowledge Kayn is dead. Zed is dead. So that means if Sivir is bot, this is basically at most, if the Lux is here, this is a 2v4. Okay, so this is a good position for him here. We actually see Aatrox completely disregarding this, pushing out the wave. This is good. This can't be bad because this is a fucking 3v1, okay? And he's actually not weak at all. So great play. This is how you play. You get an advantage on the map if you have one, and you actually, you know, go for that kill, and now you get a free Atakan. The important part comes after Atakan. After he gets Atakan here, what should he do? Kayn is here. He should instantly acknowledge Aatrox is dead, Lux is dead. Once more numbers advantage. Play for crab, play for this, and then play for Drake. Okay? Because he just created another numbers advantage. I think even that him chasing here is bad, honestly. You don't have to kill the enemy jungle here. Just use your time efficiently while these people are dead and get the crab, get his camps, play for this. Okay, this is his next move. Even if you waste 5 seconds here, that is huge. That is maybe 2 camps you could have got, right, before the Drake. So that's what he should have done here. He kind of like performs this not too bad. I think this is very mid-maxing by me, but just so you understand this. So here, he doesn't have enough time to invade those camps now. Not the end of the world. He maybe could have done it if he didn't waste time. He gets the Drake though. Great game set, Atakan plus Drake. So, let's see what he does after this point, because this is quite important here. Right here, I think he's like stayed for his camps, which is good. If your teammate's base, you don't have, and you don't even want to play aggressive, right? So this is downtime for him. He should do his camps, base, walk topside, and then play with his team again, right? You want to synchronize the B button with your team, right? Best case, he would base straight away and then be on the map when his team is on the map, on the same line, right? If he needs an item, which I think he needed here, it's fine if your teammates are slightly offset with your position. You just might have to, and because you actually most likely then did your camps, that's why you're not synchronized, you can actually, you know, run out of base straight to your teammates here. This is very important though. And especially what happens after this. After he does all of this, he opts for a base. What should he do? Well, no objectives up, top camps up, no real, you know, invade angle, everyone is chilling, just came out of base. He should just go topside here and then see what the information on the map is, right? Where should he play? And this is very important. Right here, I already know, and this is like very tough if you've never heard about this, but this is a skill I developed like over a long time because I like thought to myself, this is how you should play the game. Towers. Look at the map. Top lane, there is no tier 1 tower, there's no tier 2 tower. And as a general rule in the mid game, you always play for tier 2 towers, or maybe tier 1 if they are still up, right? Usually though, side lane tier 2 towers. How do you do that? You play for your camps when the waves have not hit yet, and you recognize here. Top lane, no tier 2. So this is not something you should think about. Mid lane. Mid lane is really just about creating an advantage, getting the push, and then moving to bot or top lane. Since on top lane there is no tower left, what should he do? He should recognize, okay, mid waves are gonna crash, I'm gonna do my camps, play for the next mid wave, and then go with the mid wave push over here, set up vision, and play over here in this pocket between mid and bot lane, right? This is what he should do. And just try to play on waves, get an advantage, and then move into bot side when this wave is here. Why should he not go bot instantly? Well, look at the bot wave. Wave is here, right? He has time to do this. By the time this wave is roughly over here, I would say. And then he goes mid, then this wave is here, and then he moves with the mid lane push. If they can't go for mid tower, he just moves his bot lane for this. And what will happen then? He will be mid lane. There's 3 people here, there's 3 people here, let's say, right? This is bot lane 101, whatever. And then what happens? These 3 people can move 5 seconds earlier, roughly. Then, because they have to catch a wave here, and those 5 seconds are enough to take a tower down as 4 people in the mid game. Mid game, why is the mid game so different to the early game? Because in mid game you can get a tower as a team so quick, right? So this small advantage is what matters here in the mid game. And why does he not want to play topside? Well, there's no tower, right? Towers matter in the mid game. So let's see what he does. Second of all, you should like out of base. This is what you should think about, but also where are the enemies? Bot lane is mid, that's 2 people of the enemies. This guy is top, that's 3 people. Kayn can be anywhere, right? So that's 4. So he can be here, he can be here. Okay. And the last person, we don't know where he is, so we should not assume it, but most likely bot side. As long as we don't see it though, Kayn and Zed are missing, okay? So this could be like mean that there are 3 people top. You should maybe ping this because this is dangerous. This guy is fine, mid lane is fine, top lane volatile. So you should go topside here, which he does. And now look at this. The enemies make a play, 3 people top, right? What does it mean if there's 3 people top? Well, that means there can't be an advantage on the bot side for them, right? So there's 2 people mid, you are free. That's an advantage. No one bot, right? So what happens here? You just have to go mid lane here. It kind of sucks because the wave was cleared by Civil, right? But he should just play from mid lane. And if there's nothing, just go bot lane. Okay. What does he do? He actually just runs into them here. Takes a 3v, I think this is a 3v4. And this is, he only won this because his Kaiser actually kind of 1v9 this fight, okay? But he makes a play when there's no advantage. And this is where I see loads of people lose the game. He goes top lane, doesn't play for top tier 2, and this is like, no, can turn out really bad for him. Let's look at this fight, what happens here. They take this fight here, which is not necessary at all. Look at this. If he would just shove out mid-wave, they would be here, he shoves it out, then they're here, but that time he's here, he takes 3 tier 2 tower. Do you understand the point? This fight right here in tier 2 tower, guys, is like, what, 700, 800, even more gold maybe? That's how you play the mid game. And I have to like preface this. I'm not saying this fight is bad. If you're strong enough and you can pick them off like this, go for it. Because what happens if you kill all of them? Well, you just shove out everything and win the game, right? But I just want you guys to know, if their enemies have like a numbers advantage like this, even if you are stronger, this is where loads of people lose the game. And why go for a play like this? You only get kills. Well, the point of kills in the mid game here is to then use those kills to get more camps, towers, and all of that, right? If you can already though, with the enemies all being topside here, create an advantage on mid, get maybe even mid tower, and then translate into bot lane tier 2, because there's no way they're gonna go from here to here in time when you're already, you know, one lane separated. What's the point of doing this? The point of kills is to get an advantage in numbers, but he already had an advantage here. So this fight turns out good for them, but I'm gonna be honest, this shit would have been game losing if it didn't work out. So I'm not saying don't go for this, but if you go, it's because it's a free fight, okay? So let's see what he does afterwards. Right here, they get numbers. He should already try to like get Kane's camps here. I think they're all up. He just walks back. Okay, Kaiser pushes this in. He takes these camps. By the time he takes those camps, Renekton pushes in midwave, and then he goes 3v1 mid lane. Okay, so that's what he should do here. Use those numbers in the mid game. Use those numbers. And he actually goes for base, which makes no sense. There's no trade up. He should have just used those kills to get ahead. Okay, and that's basically the point of this video, guys. If you are in the mid game, in the mid stage of the game, you want to move to your camps, sure, but overall you have to recognize if you kill someone, you should use that kill to create a numbers advantage and play for tier 2 towers on the side lanes most of the time. And if you don't get an advantage, you try to get an advantage by pushing in waves first, maybe hovering your teammates, and then using your bot lane and moving to the top or bot side of the map if there's no objective, right? If there's a Drake, you just push in. What do you do when there's a Drake? You push in midway first, you make sure it's pushed, you get maybe vision if you can, and then you play for Drake. That's why you push in the midwave, right? And then you also don't lose anything if you're all in the Drake pit. No one can, like, you know, punish you for it and trade for it. Same concept here. If you are in the mid game and there's no objective, your next objectives are usually towers. Most of the time on the side lanes, tier 1 and tier 2 towers. And that's just what you do. Another thing I have to say, if in this game there was like a tier 1 tower here, tier 2 here, and only tier 2 here, you can like play for this first, get this down, maybe then play for the next tier 2, or you just base and then you just see, you know, it's very hard to say where you should go. Usually there's always, you know, 2 tier 2 towers, and then you just play with the stronger laner. Because, you know, you have here tier 2, you have here tier 2, so then you just play with the stronger laner. If it is the case, though, that there's already no tier 2 tower here in the mid game, then it's very obvious. You just push out mid waves and play for this right here. Preferably, you have the stronger laner on that side of the map, right? And the other guy just catches waves over here. That's how you play the mid game, guys. I wish I could show you more examples, but honestly, I think if you just have this understanding, it doesn't matter which game state there is or in which game you're placed in. The overall point is this: just play for towers, play for position, and just shove in waves, and that's all you gotta do, and then move to the tier 2 tower. There is nothing else in the mid game. I don't care what anyone says. Late game is basically the same, just, you know, with Baron fights and whatever. That is just a consequence of the mid game lead and early game lead, though. This is really something a lot of people don't understand, and as you can see, Nidalee actually made a lot of mistakes in that regard. And she won that game, right? They won that fight over here. Different game, you lose that fight. You lose the game, you lose Baron, you don't get those towers, and those towers are like still in 40 minutes in the game, there's still a tier 2 tower, okay? This is why high elo games end so fast, because people get a lead in the early game. This is why early game is so important, and then they know how to use the lead to, you know, get those towers, and how to actually play the mid game. Thanks for watching, guys. I don't want to make this any longer. If you got any suggestions, I can't fucking talk. If you got any video ideas, just write it down in the comments. I tried to fix my audio. I think it's good in this video. That's it. Look for it in your games. If you played 5 games or whatever, look at your past 5 games, how you play the mid game, and just look at how. Do you count numbers? Do you use numbers advantage to advance it to camp lead to fucking towers? And do you push in mid waves or like side lanes and then advance to the next lane to use that slight numbers advantage you have for a short amount of time maybe? That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.